amazing viewers. Thank you so much for joining me on my program once again. I appreciate you wherever you are connecting from. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please kindly subscribe to my channel. Click the notification bell so that you'll be notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you so much and remain blessed. It's good you brought the issue of the IGBO'S. IGBO'S invested their political capital in PDP since 1999. They've never wavered. And it is in the constitution they waited patiently. I was looking at one of the interviews I granted many years ago when this issue of Igbo leadership and all that. I said, no, Igbos, you should be patient. South will even get presidency before you.
That was before Goodluck Jonathan.
That was before Goodluck Jonathan. I said, South will get presidency. You will be the last to become the president. I said it many years ago.
Why did you reach that conclusion?
Because I analyzed it. Igbos are the most hated tribe in Nigeria. People will tell you, why you're talking like that. They are the most hated tribe in Nigeria. Even those that will pretend, they hate them. And why do they hate them? It's because they cannot compete with them. It's because they know they will do it better than them. Because they know that they will face it. All those frivolities in governance, still here, still there, they will block it. They will make sure everything will be seen as business. So those who are used to free money, I don't see any Igbo man which is in the sense that will not rebuild this country. So that is why you see that issue of no, everybody said no, Igbo people will be the last. I was with somebody, a comrade, who was president of one of the strong unions at 10th floor in Transcorp. We were having coffee about 3-4 years ago. He forgot I'm an Igbo. He said Igbo man will be the last person to be president of Nigeria. I turned at him. He said, sorry, Dan. I said, have you forgotten that I'm an Igbo man? But I laughed over it. Those things don't hurt me because I have mixed with everybody in Nigeria. My first working life, even as a trade unionist, my boss is from Kano, Yakasai in Kano. That relationship is that you can say that open your mouth, you put something there, I'll swallow it. Vice versa. So it's not about tribe. It's about what will keep Nigeria together. It will be very dangerous after 2023. If power gets to the north after Buhari 8 years back to back, we are going to have a lot of problems. Let nobody pretend about it. You can pretend to high heavens, but it sticks to high heavens that it will go 8 years back to back. People don't want to talk about it.
Are you calculating based on national spread or the contest within political parties?
I'm talking about the reality. The reality out there. The reality out there.
Okay, let me share with you. I had on Monday on this program a practical resource person, and he said within the PDP, the North has been shortchanged since 1999. Basis of calculation server from 1999. 4 presidential tickets going to the South and 2 to the North. That if you talk of merit, if you talk about zoning, if you talk about justice within PDP, then the North has been shortchanged.
You say everybody will put an argument to justify whatever position he has taken. We are talking about power. President Jonathan becoming president was circumstantial. So he finished that tenure and came back. It was deliberate that President Obasanjo became president. President Babangida, Abdusalam, they looked at the owners of Nigeria, looked at the situation then in Nigeria and said, look, who is that unifier? Who is that person that is not tribalistic? Who is that person that will do things as it is? They went and brought President Obasanjo from prison. They moved his prison uniform with the number and put Agbada on him. Nigeria has elected him president. The Southwest never voted for him. So when people come here and make arguments meant for the gutter, I laugh. Igbos don't have votes. Igbos don't have this. Igbos don't have. Those are haters of Igbo because they believe that did Obasanjo get votes from Southwest before Nigerians made him president, because the circumstances of that time dictated that Obasanjo must be president. What are those circumstances? Abiola won an election, it was taken away from him. I was in Hope 93. I was one of the closest guys. In fact, that was where I met Tinubu for the first time. So he won an election. The Southwest said no.
So your support for him is as a result of long years of association?
You mean Tinubu? No. That was where I met him for the first time. That time, Chief Abiola gave me timetable. 10 a.m. until I close. 10 a.m. I resume in his house. I'm going to Abeokuta. Comrade, come. Wait for me. At times I'll be upstairs, they are sleeping. He returns at 2 a.m. And that's why some of us are still crying that he didn't become president. Here was a man one night, he returned at 2 a.m. In that his living room downstairs, there were over 100 students waiting for him to take their money back to school. He said, comrade, come, people should be, we carried back down. Aminu, come. How much do you need to school? He will say so, he will double it. Chike, he called all of them by their names. Before you need those funds gone. Some of us wept. I was with him in the hospital doing 437 Eco Hospital when he had swollen legs. I was the only member of the family that was with him. I've said this before in the program. Then the wife later came on another program to confirm it that he knew me. Then I was very tiny. I said, I'm not going to chop grow. So listen, he was telling me why he wanted to be president. That was during his preparation for declaration as president. So somebody called him, I won't mention his name. After discussing, he now asked me a question, comrade, what do you think about this declaration? I said, Mr. President, do you want me to tell you the truth or you want me to be diplomatic? I was very young.
Have you not told him the truth already? You address him as Mr. President.
I'm telling, no, it's good you are said that. But there's a government in place. He said, yes. I said, I haven't had. He said, no, they say I should declare that they will give him. I said, I have never read it in any books. And that person that called him told him certain things, but I was hearing his reply. I am in a hospital, I have swollen legs. Come here and pick me, Nigeria will burn. Immediately I heard the story. I went to see my classmate in NIPS, late Oresan. And some of them, I said, look, talk to Abiola. I arranged that bell. People are coming to claim everything through NLC. And when he refused, that was how Pascal Bafia was brought into it. Pascal Bafia saw Abiola 5 times and saw Abacha 5 times. Anyway, let's leave that story. So the point I'm making is that he was made president because the circumstances dictated it. So if Nigeria wanted peace, let President Buhari go and pick anybody from the southeast. Unless he's telling us he doesn't trust anyone. And Nigerians will still make him president. If
it's a precarious situation, a country that is divided, a country that is largely insecure and all that, should we not stay exacerbating the situation when we restrict the choice to a particular place? Shouldn't we look for the best?
We've done that before.
Shouldn't we look for the best? No. That will solve the problem at this critical point.
That's always the best everywhere. That's always the best everywhere.
But there's best of the best.
No, you can always have the best of the best of the best. There's no part of the
you know why? Let's go on a break now.
You know why we're having.
Let's go on a break. Okay. When we come back, we'll still have more time to.
It's okay.
Thank you so much for staying with us. I've been with the National Chairman of Zenith Labour Party, Chief Dan Mwanya, when we are taking a look at the politics of 2023 presidency. Getting interesting with some parties picking candidates, others struggling to do so. Promises to be an interesting contest. 18 political parties may actually field candidates, so a chance of 18 left with the electorate. Hopefully by the end of the day. Quickly before we recommence our deliberations, from our Twitter feed, Mohammed OBSS, he says the Prof has been politically baptized with holy water. For him to consider Tinubu as the best candidate,
I never said that.
He said he's a good candidate.
Okay.
Not best. Okay. I respect his views and I pray that IGBO'S will really vote for Tinubu come massively in 2023 if Tinubu is given the mandate. Now, you mentioned one thing before we went on break.
Yes.
That IGBO'S who aspire for the presidency will fail because the establishment as well will not want one that want to work, protect the treasury and get the country working again. They will prefer someone that will always open up the treasury for people to resort to self-help. Now, there's a P2B. He was in the PDP, and based on what he did in Anambra State, a lot of people said prudence is the watchword, and this is the man to really grab that ticket. But before even the contest started, he left the PDP. What do you think transpired? Was he frustrated out? Do you think he read the handwriting and saw this, or he felt he could push his mandate to using other platform?
You see, I told you about the attitude of most Nigerians towards the Igbo man, and that is the truth. No matter how even as they're watching me now.
No, it may not be the truth. It's just the opinion.
No, I'm coming. I'm coming.
It's the opinion, not the truth.
I'm coming. It's the truth.
Opinion is different from the truth.
As they're watching me now, they say, why is Dan saying this? But in their heart of heart, they know it is true. I repeat it. The Igbo man is the most hated person in Nigeria. For no reason. Somebody told me one day, I'm coming back to your question. I said, they don't allow people to come. They don't allow people to do business in their places. You run away because you can't compete with them. That nobody builds a house. I went over and took a CFO and gave the man. I give you this, go and prepare the deed, let me sign. Go and build there. I say he doesn't want. You will not build it. Because you don't believe in the people. They don't drive you away from business because you cannot compete. Now, on P2B, you see, I hope I won't be talking as if I'm campaigning for anybody, but I'm talking generally. P2B is one of our best. There are many people like P2B in Igbo land. He's a trader. He cannot gamble with his hard-earned money, as people have showcased in Abuja, and they're going to showcase more. P2B will not do that. Rather, he put the money into more useful ventures. And that is about governance. What are you trying to do? P2B is not a man of frivolity. I'm not saying he's the best. He's one of our best. We can get many like him that will not open the treasury. So when they're attacking P2B, they're not attacking P2B that has offended them. It's because of his circumstances of birth. No Igbo man can go there. No Igbo man can go there. Ask him why. Some started with they want to be president and they are doing IPOP. They want to just looking for reasons to hang on the dog, to kill the dog. Am I IPOP? I have been one of those, like many others, that has spoken about IPOP. Even when they went to do something in I say it's not IPOP. We know our people. So what am I saying in effect? What I'm saying is, he has left frustration. He has seen the handwriting on the wall. And not that he doesn't have money. I tell you, P2B would have spent about 5-10 billion there and get more votes. But P2B will not do it. He has it to spend and he will not remember it. That is the thinking of an Igbo man. You don't spend money that is just like these people that pick 100 million ticket. Can you gamble with 100 million? These are funds they made from the system, this same system that they have brought out. One of them could have put 100 million naira from his hard-earned money.
But you know, people also go to casino to lose money for fun.
I agree. I've been in Transcorp someday with some friends in a meeting. Somebody came left. They said he spent $2 million and he was going to pick more. I said, how? He went upstairs and broke and went back. So people that is his
money for fun.
But P2B doesn't belong to that group. But I tried to inquire the job of the man. The man was those. He still those involved in a subsidy. These are things that should be closed down. There's no reason fuel cannot sell in Nigeria for 50 naira. We put our own refineries working. That is the only thing Nigerians can benefit from Nigeria. Nothing more. But they have refused, even every time there is budget for turnaround maintenance, they will share a swallow, the thing will work small, little time is gone. Why is it individuals' refineries work? Government refinery will not work. Apart from IBOM airline, that is a government-owned airline that is very beautiful now. You enter it, you are happy, you have confidence. Why is if you put NigeriaNews now, they'll kill it. They will siphon the money. They will start putting Tukumbo tires on the airplane and expired motor pass. Airplane pass.
If they have provision for Tukumbo parts.
No, they will get it.
Second.
So see, that is the problem. That is what a businessman will think, that those in government siphoning money doesn't think about. They don't think about it. They always make money. This is a system. One man can steal 80 billion naira without anybody knowing. This is a system. Billions of naira will be spent to feed school children who are in their parents' houses, and then it is posted that we feed school children when they were in their homes. These frivolities must stop in this country.
Okay, let's take a look at the APC. Some interesting scenario there. The president asked them to assist him in picking a consensus candidate. What do you make out of that? And immediately after that, the governors went into a meeting with the national chairman of the party. Is there an issue of assistance, or leave it for me to deal with?
Prima facie, the president is 100% correct. Prima facie, on the surface of it.
In what ways?
Yes, he's reminding them, or he reminded them that all of you impose your successors. Did I put my mouth? Why are you putting your mouth here? That shows you how greedy the governors are.
So is it that the president wants to be partake in the greed?
I am coming. If a governor could put his successor, after that, he wants to come to Abuja to decide who will be presidential candidate for the party. President threw that at them. Some will not agree, and I see disobedience in some. They'll tell the president no, or they sabotage him at the primaries. President knows that even if you pick, you call it consensus. The Electoral Act has set the rules how to arrive at consensus. Are you going to take Tinubu to write that he has withdrawn, or to write that he is no longer part of it? Look at the rules of consensus. They brought the consensus and set the yardstick, the parameters for consensus. So he knows that the thing will go to the delegates. What if the delegates were voted no? What are you going to do? You have now go back and put the candidates back. So it is a risky thing. But I think the aspect I like, that's why I say prima facie, is to remind the governors that they are overreaching themselves. And the president didn't make any step to stop them from imposing their successor. If you have done your did you quietly? Because if you see a crime or a misdemeanor being committed and you do nothing about it, you're an accessory to that crime. Is it if the president is aware that the governors implanted their successor, which some people consider anti-democratic, should he now beat his chest and say, you did it, I want to do it? Is it a question of your Mercedes is bigger than mine? Or my Mercedes is bigger than yours? You see, that's why when I heard it, I said, this is President Buhari. He just reminded them something. And that's why I say he's 100% correct. You have done your own. Allow him to do his own. Even though his own, you have to execute it. President Buhari was not in a position to influence anything in their states. So that's why I told you. But he's in a position to speak up. Liken it to a father at home that sees the children stealing from the soup pot, collecting meat. He keeps a blind eye. And when the chicken is in there, he goes to steal the chicken too, because you have been stealing. Is that the role of a father? Someone who should be the conscience of the nation and protector of the house. In this case, you're oversimplifying the matter. You're oversimplifying the matter. I'm not saying it is right. And that's why I say prima facie. It's good he reminded them of what they did. But they will still go through the process of selecting a presidential candidate. It's great. And that is part of what we have in this country. Nobody is ever satisfied with what he has. Nobody. They want to steal more. More. At the detriment of the people. At the detriment of the young people. At the detriment of the youths. At the detriment of our infrastructure. The money that we have buried here and there can turn Nigeria, every state capital, at least to look like Abuja. That is the problem. That is the problem. If you say, they say, why is he talking like that? There are governors that are working. I am not ruling that, and also none of them. There are governors that are working. And those governors should be encouraged. You have Zulum there. You have Uzodinma there. You have, there are some of them that are working. Do you have Ebonyi? Go to Ebonyi. there are governors of the party that are working, that are not pretentious with delivering dividends of democracy to the people. So they will sort it out. But I know some people will say no, some but sabotage it. That is politics. They determine everything, they decide everything, and it's okay. Allow me now. This is also my territory. Let me control this one.
How do we change the course? Because I think you're in agreement with me that it's not the desirable.
I agree.
So how do we? Because if we see politicians as aspirants spend huge sums of money at the state level, purchasing firms, presidential level, holding consultations across the country, wasting resources, only for one man to make the call. How do we reverse that trend to really get power back to the people? The elected delegates exercising that function.
The party is not supreme. You might tell me there may be some problems in the position of leadership of parties. The party is not supreme. I have also given an example here. I was an eyewitness during the MPN days. I was very young, a clerk in the bank. I was on a trade union mission. That time, I always visited every campaign rallies or discussion. There was a meeting at Mako Hall in Ibadan. On the high table, there were only 2 seats. Adisa Augustus Meredith Akinloye, National Chairman MPN. By his left, Suleiman Takuma. Sitting opposite them, President Shagari, Vice President Ekweme, Joseph Wayas, all of them.
Senate President,
all of them. And I remember vividly when President Shagari raised his hand to contribute to a point. Akinloye said, no, not you, Mr. President, you.
So presumably a party function.
Of course. Party must be supreme. Shagari never made any appointment without referring to the party. Please, party, look at these people.
Today we take party matters, final decisions to the sort of presidential.
Of course, in the states, the governors take over everything. They decide everything. Shagari never made any appointment without referring to the party. The party might say, no, Mr. President, there are these names that helped us. Accommodate them. The president will accommodate them. Maybe because President Shagari was one of the finest presidents we've ever had, like Yaradua. So maybe that's why he was so open and free. Party was supreme then. Party supremacy is sine qua non.
I recall I once had a former speaker between 1999 and 2003, Speaker of the House of Representatives.
Buhari?
The man that replaced Buhari after he had that crisis
of certificate.
Yes, I will record the name. Just escaped my mind now.
It's not that there?
No, from Kano. The gentleman from Kano. The lion, they call him.
Okay, I remember.
Now I remember the name now. At the onset of that Fourth Republic, he told me, of course, viewers of of how key party officials, key government functionaries will meet with the president on weekly basis to chart the way forward for the direction of the government.
That's correct.
At some point, the then president felt that it was an alternate government within his own government. Initially, he was going along with decisions, but at some point, they started experiencing a shift from agreements reached there.
Because some people have read the president.
So you mentioned Shagari, perhaps a gentleman that want to accommodate views. Is it down to the attitude of the president? Is it a sign? Because if you do that, you run the risk of being termed a weak president.
No.
Policies are being imposed on you. No. Is it in a bid to petition that together that a president want to be in control of everything?
No. If a president is working with the party, you can't call it an alternative government. That is the vehicle that took him to power.
Because sometimes decisions are based on voting. It's form of voting. The sitting president will say, I remember what he said. That Obasanjo told them that Nigerians gave me the mandate and not to you.
I agree. But that mandate passed through some people and the vehicle.
And a platform.
Platform is the vehicle. So you cannot override the platform. Those days, even during the time of Tommy Kini, Tommy Kini was also powerful as national chairman of NRC. Party supremacy is the only solution to these problems. Everybody will now know and belong and be loyal to the party. When you have good men in the party leadership, not when you just carry people with dubious records, you just want to gag them. When you talk to them, they will say yes sir, because their records are terrible. You know, that's what happens in Nigeria. You look for men that can never speak because of their records, past records. You give them important positions, so you use them very well. So we have to use the issue of party supremacy. Party supremacy is key. It's key. The president cannot forget the party that provided the vehicle that took him to power. He cannot. And that's why at times, so we technically be working certain things. Though at times you have terrible party leadership. I'll give you another example. I want to give you an example with PDP. Mazu was the national chairman of PDP towards the election. The game changer. The game changer. Good. In the last campaign of the president with the young entrepreneurs in Lagos, I flew with the president on Air Force One, and I was privileged to be in the presidential compartment. The president, Urubebe, Muazu, myself. The president was tired because he traveled many times that week. So when the aircraft took off, he decided to go and take a nap in the bedroom behind. Muazu now opened up, talking to Urubebe. Let me tell you why the North will not vote for Jonathan. I turned. He said, this Niger Delta people cannot come here, live ostentatious living, do this, do that. I said, Mr. Chairman. He said, no, wait, Chairman, you are not part of us. I said, yes, but I'm a friend of the president. He continued. The second one was President Jonathan insulted the North and all that. I said, you are the party chairman. And when we get down now, we are going to speak for people to vote for Jonathan. He gave 4 reasons, but it was at 2. When the aircraft started descending, Mr. President came back. So I told Urubebe, make sure you brief the president on what I had. He did. But President Jonathan did nothing.
What were you expecting him to
you don't expect such...
What were you expecting him to?
Wait a minute.
Should he not respond to honest opinion?
I will tell you. You see, when you have such a party chairman who flies with the president everywhere, telling Nigerians to vote, but behind he will tell them don't vote. That is not the party supremacy I'm talking about. The party supremacy must be head to toe. Because you believe in that
a party that consults. Because if you say a decision of the party and a few hijacks the party and the party dictates, it becomes the reflection of the wishes of a few. So shouldn't we make sure that the party, we don't allow the principle of law of oligarchy to set in, make sure that decisions taken are product of widespread consultation starting from the roots?
Well, I'll answer that. But you asked me a question, what did I expect the President Jonathan to do?
Yes.
Come Mazu. You said all this. Why will not continue with this campaign? Put it back to him. And that's why in President Jonathan's cabinet, during that election, there were more saboteurs than supporters. He didn't see it. We were outside. I was just a friend of the president. He likes, he calls, we speak. At times I will go and give him some information.
Are you so in that terms with him?
Of course, I am for President Jonathan head to toe.
Did he confide in you as part of the 2023 presidency?
2023, I won't discuss that.
But if we discuss what's happening within his presidential jet, a privileged information, why will he not also...
No. Has he come out?
He said he was consulting.
Wait, let him come out. But I told you, as at that time, and even after he left office, I am President Goodluck Jonathan head to toe. So
if he comes out now, you go keep behind him?
My position with President Jonathan is not debatable.
Come rain, come shine.
It's not debatable.
Okay, now what?
But that doesn't mean that that is an answer to your question.
Because there's this attitude of tell the president what he my principal what he wants to hear.
That is
if you tell him what he doesn't want to hear, they will distance themselves from you. So if it's the plain truth, is there nothing that stops the chairman from telling that same bitter truth to his principal?
You see, that's why I told you that President Muhammad Buhari is not the General Muhammad Buhari.
Okay.
I visited 3 times in his house.
Okay.
They are different people. Because after listening to him in Kaduna, 3 different occasions I was in his house. There was no time as I was there for less than 1.5 hours a day.
Okay.
Just a minute, let me write it down.
Okay, 30 seconds.
Yes. I was convinced come and be a presidential candidate in 2011. From that time,
then Labour Party.
Yes, from that time to when he formed CPC, I was speaking with General Muhammad Buhari, as he then was, every Friday after mosque. That's why I said, this president, our president, they have hijacked him and they want to destroy him.
Chief Dan Manyanwu was a comrade. He was.
I am a comrade. I was
yes, a comrade.
Level is my constituency.
Yes, he started his career in the banks, joined activism, unionism, where he became a comrade up to now. Joined politics, became chairman of Labour Party. Also helped to founded and leading Zenith Labour Party, and he has come to discuss the issues of 2023 presidency from a nationalistic perspective, not a narrow one. I have to thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you also for being part of it. My name is Amechi, and we have a good time.
Thank you so much for your patience to watch from the beginning to the end. I hope you have learned something from the video you have just watched. The video you have just watched is to bring information to your doorstep and for educational purpose. It is not to demonize anybody. Let us watch continuously and see who can be able to make a sense out of every nonsense we are seeing. We must continue. We move. It doesn't matter what they do. It doesn't matter what they say. They will kill us. We will kill them. At the end of the day, Biafra is here. Thank you for watching. If you have not subscribed to the channel, please kindly subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell so that you're notified each time I upload a video. You will be among the first to receive it. Thank you and remember blessed. Bye-bye. See you again.